Good day, mates and matettes, and welcome back to Fishing for Icebergs Let's Build. As you can see, we are back here in the Royal Suite, which is mostly unchanged from before. Now, as we head out, we can see that although the suite itself has remained unchanged, there is now actually somewhere for this hallway to go. Now the hallway splits off here down these two unfinished sections where there is this barracks style area. This barracks houses just some of the soldiers who will be guarding these parts of the halls, and they have their own little bathroom here. Now the reason that there are these iron grates here to look out on the hall is because that hallway will inevitably be the one which leads up onto the top of the mountain once that is built. If we head across here, we can see that there is the starts of another tower off to this side, and if we head out here, we are now in this guard platform area with these surrounding crenellations. Now the tower itself comes up in sort of like a second tier tower from these first two there and there, and this plateau here, where guards will now be able to control, is just the top of the Great Hall, now with crenellations and these braziers. Now, this is just one of the major changes that has been made to the outside. As you'll note, there is also this new tower here, which is much the same as the one over there, but then there is also this huge circular drum tower section here. Now this is the circular area that I showed you at the end of last episode, and as you can see, it has been built up here. This will be sort of a back entrance into the fortress for, say, supply wagons to come. Now it continues up from this little hut section here, up through this main circular bell tower, where there is this iron grating and stair arrangement, as well as this cobblestone design to relieve the sort of tedium of the walls. Now these coal pillars are topped with nether brick braziers, just because they seem to help accentuate the darkness of the coal blocks. Now when we get up to this level, you can see that there is a diamond on top of the doorways leading out, and that the tower steadily gets narrower as it goes up. This part of the mountain has also been built up all the way around the structure, and it is now we can now see more of what it will look like when it is finally finished. Now if we just head into the structure along this cobble half-block path, we will see that this part also has a working gateway, and that this room is lit by the rooftop glowstone arrangement, as well as glowstone pieces set into this pillar, which has been copied, well, the style has been copied from those that were under the under the Great Hall. Now, I just noticed a fault, which is that this should not be like that. Is that fault on the other side as well? No. Now, this doorway heads down into an unfinished part of the build, which will inevitably be the servants' eating hall. Now, the servants' eating hall also has this stairway here, which connects it up through the narrow passages to the kitchens themselves. As you can see, this hallway which links this new circular area is the one that heads straight out from this main pathway. Now if we just head along here, we can go up to the second floor of this section, which is the main guard barracks. Now the guards are in 3-tiered bunk beds, and they head up and down numerous lines. Four lines, not numerous. Now here you can see the inside of the metal grate, which just lends a bit of air and light to this whole section. And down the front here you can see basins for the washing of hands, furnaces for heating up some food or leftovers or something, and this is repeated again on the other side. Now if we head around again, we can head up to the next floor, and the next floor is just a very crowded room. Now these booths will eventually be sort of like the high officers' quarters. But this main section over here is the guards' bathroom. Again, since they're essentially just servants, they don't get the fancy flooring, but there is plenty of toilet stalls, as well as this sort of little bath here, and lots of basins. If we head out, I hate iron doors. If we head out again, we can go up this other stairway, which goes up in a sort of spiral fashion, into this level of the build, which is where guards can come out to patrol this walkway. Now, the staircase here has blue stained clay at the corners of these support struts, and coal blocks down this center column. If we keep heading up another floor, we come to this completely sealed floor, which is only broken by this single doorway. If we head in here, we come into the Lord Commander's quarters. These are the quarters for the actual leader of the armies, and as you can see here, there are the heads and the dragon's egg, which are sort of trophies for his long service. There are swords hanging over his bed, as well as anvils by his side, constant reminders of his station. If we come around here, we get a small kitchenette, as well as his butler's quarter, because as the Lord Commander, he is a noble rather than a servant, and so he deserves his own personal valet. If we go round to the other side, we can see he has lots of chests for storing items in, as well as a work desk and a small table where he can meet with some of his commanders. But this is more of a peacetime thing, as it's not really designed to cope with the numbers that would be needed in a war situation. That table is housed in the main front section and was shown in another episode. At the back here, we have his private bathroom, which has 4 stalls, as well as this rather large bath. Now, while this may seem very excessive for just a single man, remember he is the Lord Commander, and that his quarters will often be used by the officers as well. Of course, not when he's sleeping, but at other times, perhaps. If we then leave this room and continue up the structure, we get to the unfinished top tower. Now, this top tower will inevitably go up from this second bastion, and will be the highest point of the entire structure. Heading back down now, we want to head back into the Lord Commander's quarters and take something out of his chest, because he has access to the King's Roads. Now I'll just put this back and just break my way in instead, just so that I don't forget to seal that. But if we go in through here, we can see that he has a small room here where he would store some stuff. this is yet to be filled. As we head along this passage, we can find an entrance into this room, which is where it connects to the king's quarters. So while going through the normal passages, it would take quite a while to get up to the royal quarters. If he simply goes through the back ways, the Lord Commander can help defend his king in a very timely manner. Now if we head back into the secret passages here, we can see that there is a branching off here right next to the Lord Commander's quarters. Now if we flick this lever, we can see that they open up into the main chimney shaft. Now when the build is finished and this comes out of the top of the structure, I will edit in some sort of route with which people would be able to flee through this hidden doorway. On top of this, there is also this side path which leads to a ladder. Now while there is currently nothing upwards, if we go downwards, there is this floor here. And this floor leads along this path to this secret door. Now this door leads out behind the new tower that was built between this episode and last, and is hidden here in the hollow just behind where the tower comes out of the mountain. Now, even from the tower, with these walls and being so close, this is a virtually unobservable spot, and as such, it is a very safe way for people to run from the keep without being seen. And that's all I've got for this round. If you have liked this, please press all the appropriate buttons, and I will see you next time. Alright? Have a nice day.